In the shadow of the Second World War, as millions of men marched to the front lines, a different kind of army was mobilizing on the home front. This is the story of the women who didn't carry rifles, but built the very arsenal of democracy. While the world watched the battlefields, a revolution was quietly taking place in the factories of America, Britain, and the Soviet Union. A revolution powered by women. Imagine the scene. Sprawling factories, once the exclusive domain of men, now humming with a new energy. In the United States, an unprecedented wave of over 6 million women surged into the workforce. They traded their aprons for overalls, their kitchens for assembly lines. They were driven by patriotism, by the need to support their families, and by a quiet, determined desire to do their part. This wasn't just a job, it was a mission. From this monumental effort, an icon was born, Rosie the Riveter. Rosie the Ice. With her determined gaze and flexed bicep, she became the symbol of a generation of women who rolled up their sleeves and proved they could handle the toughest jobs. Rosie wasn't just a poster. She was the woman next door, the sister, the wife, the mother, who was now operating heavy machinery, welding ship hulls, and wiring the complex circuits of bombers. She was real, and she was everywhere. In the United Kingdom, the story was much the same. The women of steel in Sheffield and the Canary Girls, whose skin turned yellow from working with TNT, became legends. They worked grueling shifts, often under the constant threat of air raids. Their hands, once accustomed to domestic tasks, now expertly handled lathes and presses, churning out the munitions that were vital for survival. Every bullet they crafted, every shell they filled, was a direct contribution to the war effort, a message of defiance sent across the channel. Meanwhile, in the Soviet Union, the scale of women's involvement was staggering. With the nation fighting a brutal war of attrition on its own soil, Soviet women comprised over half of the industrial workforce. They endured unimaginable hardships, working in freezing conditions, often on starvation rations. Yet, their output was miraculous. They built the legendary T-34 tanks and the Yak fighter planes that would help turn the tide on the Eastern Front. Their resilience wasn't just impressive, it was a cornerstone of the eventual Soviet victory. Across all these nations, the work was dangerous and demanding. These women weren't just filling vacant spots. They were mastering complex, physically strenuous tasks. They learned to rivet the wings of B-17 bombers, to assemble the intricate mechanisms of machine guns, and to inspect artillery shells with painstaking precision. They faced long hours, unequal pay, and the constant skepticism of a society that had long underestimated their capabilities. Yet, day after day, they returned to the deafening roar of the factory floor. The impact of their work was felt on every front. The sheer volume of production was a critical factor in the Allied victory. The planes that filled the skies, the ships that crossed the oceans, and the tanks that rolled across Europe were all stamped with the invisible mark of the women who built them. They weren't just supporting the war effort. They were a fundamental part of its engine, fueling the machinery of war with their skill and dedication. But the revolution they started didn't end with the armistice. When the war was over and the men returned home, society was forever changed. These women had proven beyond any doubt that they possessed the strength, intelligence, and resilience to excel in any field. They had stepped out of their traditional roles and into the heart of the industrial world, and there was no going back. The legacy of the women in the war factories is not just one of production numbers or military victory. It's a story of profound social transformation. They challenged and shattered long-standing stereotypes about gender roles. The confidence and economic independence they gained created a ripple effect that would inspire future generations. The seeds of the modern women's rights movement were sown on those factory floors, amidst the sparks of welding torches and the rhythm of riveting guns. They demonstrated that a woman's place was wherever she chose it to be. They opened doors that had been firmly closed, creating new opportunities for their daughters and granddaughters. Their contribution was a testament to the fact that courage and strength are not confined to the battlefield. The women who built the arsenal of victory also built a new future for themselves and for generations of women to come. Their story is a powerful reminder that in times of crisis, heroes emerge in the most unexpected of places. not just on the front lines, but on the assembly lines as well. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. The stories of these incredible women deserve to be told and remembered. If you found this story as inspiring as we do, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more hidden histories that shaped our world. Your support helps us continue to bring these important narratives to light. We'll see you in the next one.